Students, let's do Brahmanath. Om. Om. Santi, Santi, Santi. Swasth.
Good morning, students. Welcome back to another class from your chapter, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plant. Already we are discussing in details about the sexual reproduction process in flowering plant, how different structures are involved in the process of sexual reproduction. Already we have discussed. We have discussed about the development of male gametophyte, development of female gametophyte, and in the first chapter we have discussed about the structure of flower. And basically we know that the male gametophyte, it is a pollen grain structure, and female gametophyte, it is your embryo sac which is present within your ovule. And for the function or for the double fertilization process which are taking place in angiosperm, basically the pollen grain which are formed inside your male gametophyte or which are formed inside your anther, inside the microsporangium, that should be transferred to the female gametophyte or to the egg cell, so that there is a fusion occur in between male gamete and female gamete, and there is formation of your zygote. And basically, as you know that male gamete it is haploid and female gamete the egg cell it is also haploid, and they will unite to form a zygote which is diploid in nature. And for this transfer of pollen grain which is usually present in the microsporangium, there are several methods or there are several agents present in the structure that will help in the process of pollination process. Okay, that will help in the pollination. And basically pollination is a process by which the pollen grains are transferred from one place to another place, and finally they will reach up to the stigma surface and they will come to the egg cell and fuse with the egg cell. Okay, and basically in this class, in these 2 to 3 videos, we will know how the pollination process occurs in a flower, how the structure of flower can influence the movement of the pollen grain, or how the structure of flower can influence the formation of pollen tube inside the structure of your style in a female gametophyte. Okay, then first let us define the pollination process. What is the pollination process? Okay, we can define the pollination process is that definition will be transfer of pollination is a process of transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma surface. This is the basic definition of a pollination, that usually a pollen grain which is called as your male gametophyte, it is transferred from the male gametophyte and it will fall on the surface of a female gametophyte, and this is the process of your, what is the process? This process is called as your pollination. Basically, 2 types of pollination are present in case of angiospermic plant, that is your self pollination and cross pollination. Basically 2 types. What are these 2 types of pollination? That is, first is your self pollination, second one it is called as your cross pollination. Self pollination pollination is that it involves a single flower. Okay, we will define the self pollination and cross pollination. It involves a single flower or two flower, a single flower or two flower of the same plant. And cross pollination can be, here there is involvement of here two flowers of two different plants of same species, or this is for allied species. Here you can see the same species or allied species. Allied species is that the species which is similar to a specific organism or group of organism, or a species. If you will say this species which are allied species that are very similar to that of your a specific species, that are called as your allied species. Okay, very similar. Allied species means very similar characteristics. And the self-pollinating flowers, it is also called as autogamy, and the cross-pollination flowers, it is also called as your allogamy process. This is autogamy process and this is allogamy process. Okay, then if we draw the diagram of the flower, then you can understand how the self-pollinating flower look like. Okay, suppose we know the structure of the flower. Suppose this is your flower structure. Okay, you know that this is the structure of the flower, and this is the this is another flower. Here, you can see these are three diagrams I have drawn. This is the structure of your flower. This is your flower. Okay, and you know that this is the structure of your carpet, and this is the structure of your stamen, and the male gametophyte pollen grain that are formed inside your stamen. Or this structure, this is called as your one anther, this is another anther. And basically the pollen grains which are formed inside the anther, when this is a single flower, suppose this is flower number 1, this is flower number 2, and this is flower number 3. Okay, when I will say self-pollination process, then what is the definition? It involves a single flower or two flowers of the same plant. Clear? It is a single flower. When the pollen grain, suppose the pollen grain which is formed in this flower, then it will transfer and fall on the surface of the stigma. Then you can say a single flower is involved in the process of reproduction process, and that's why here I can say it is involved, or this process it is self-pollinating flower. Clear? Because the pollen grain of this flower is transferred to the same stigma of that flower. This is called as a self-pollination process. Then the cross-pollination process, here you can see the different, the definition. Two flowers of two different plants are involved. Okay, when this flower, okay, when the pollen grain of this flower will fall on the surface of another flower of something different plant. Okay, this is another plant, this is another plant. Then this process is called as a cross-pollination process. Clear? And basically self-pollination or autogamy process, it is of two types. Okay, and another is known as your geitonogamy. Autogamy and geitonogamy. First draw these diagrams and the difference between self-pollination and cross-pollination. Then we know about the autogamy and geitonogamy. Draw the diagram first. Okay, already we have discussed the types of pollination, that is your self pollination and cross pollination. Then let us know details about the self pollination process. Okay, and what is the definition of self pollination? It is a process of transfer of pollen grain from the anther to stigma surface of same flower or different flower of same plant. Basically, only a single plant is involved in the self pollination process, and it is again of two types. One, it is your first, it is called as your autogamy, and second, it is called as your geitonogamy. In the autogamous flower, what you will find that in the autogamous flower, a bisexual flower is present. That is, the male part and female part both are present in a single flower. If we can define the autogamous flower, pollination occurs in a single flower, but here in the geitonogamy, the pollination occurs in different flower of the same plant. In different flower of same plant. And basically, the autogamous flower, they are bisexual in nature. Okay, they are usually bisexual, but here it is unisexual or it may be bisexual. Both types of flower are same. And bisexual flower is that when both the organs, that is male and female part, that is present in a single flower, then it is called as your bisexual flower. Clear? And basically, unisexual means either one organ, either male is absent or female is absent, and or it is your bisexual flower. But here, the flower, it may be unisexual or bisexual, but it is always very monoecious condition. Monoecious condition. Suppose if this is a plant, and here a flower is present, and here another flower is present, then the geitonogamy flower is that the pollen grain of this flower, it will fall on the surface of the second flower of the stigma surface, and this is called as your geitonogamy process. And basically, this condition, it is called as your monoecious condition. Clear? And here it is your bisexual flower, and most of the example of your autogamous flower where the autogamy pollination takes place, it is your hibiscus, then next wheat, rice and tea. These are some examples where the autogamy pollination takes place. And next, the geitonogamy example is that in the geitonogamy process, it is occur mostly in case of geometres. Okay, this is the basic two types of your self pollination. One is your autogamy and another one is your allogamy. In the autogamy process, a bisexual flower is present, and in the geitonogamy process, either the flower may be unisexual or bisexual, but the pollination occurs in a single parent and two flowers are involved. And next, another topic is that is your contrivances of self pollination. Contrivances of self pollination. But then what is this contrivances of cell pollination? Basically, we know that the structure of flower, it is having a sepal, petal, androecium, and gynoecium. But we don't know when this androecium will mature, when this gynoecium will mature, and how the structural pattern it will favor the pollination process. And this contrivances is that this is the physiological process or the structure or conditions which will promote the pollination. Okay, then we call it as a contrivances. Okay, contrivances is that the structure or condition which will promote the cell pollination are called as contrivances of self-pollination. Clear? And basically you will find different types of contrivances in cell pollination process. One is your jasmogamy, then your vetnogamy, and several all other different types of contrivances are present. Okay, note down these points, then we will discuss about the contrivances. Okay, basically there are 4 types of contrivances of pollination, cell pollination are present. Let us discuss these 4 types. Okay, first contrivances, it is called as your homogamy, and second it is called as your cleistogamy, and third it is called as your chasmogamy, and fourth one it is called as your self-adaptability. These are 4 types of contrivances that usually promote the cell pollination process. Clear? And first one, the homogamy process. Let us know what is this type. In the homogamy type of flower, the anther and stigma of the flower matures at the same time. Here, anther and stigma of flower matures at same time. And as a single flower is involved, as the stigma and the anther mature at the same time, then here only cell pollination can take place. Cross pollination is impossible. And most of the example here, we can take example where the homogamous flower is present, that is your Mirabilis jalapa. Okay. Then next, another important example, that is your potato. Then next, wheat and rice. These are 4 examples where you will find the homogamous flower is present and their cell pollination occurs. And next, the cleistogamous flower. Usually cleistogamous flower, here flower never opens. Never opens. And as the flower never opens, the stigma and the pollen grains that obviously present in the flower, then here only cell pollination process will occur. And example, it is your Camelina bengalensis. Okay, this is a plant where you will find the cell pollination process will occur, and it is a self pollinating flower, and here flower will never open. And next process or next type of contrivance is known as your chasmogamy. In the chasmogamy flower, the flower structure, that is the anther and stigma, will appear when the flower matures. Here, usually the stigma and the anther, they will appear when the flower will be mature. After the maturation of flower, the anther and stigma structure will appear and the pollen grain will transfer from the surface of the flower and it will fall on the surface of stigma. And here example it is your, you can take the example that is your Oryza and sativa. Oryza sativa. I am underlining this because as you know this is the botanical names that are written in italics. Then we are not writing the italic language, that's why we are underlining the sentences. Okay, the capital letter should be capital, the genus name first letter it should be capital and the species name the first letter it should be smaller letter. Clear? Then in the self-adaptability process, that is also a different flower. What we will find here, that is the maturation period of the anther and stigma will be different. Okay, here in case the maturation period of flower is that is anther and stigma is different, but they usually have a overlapping period. Clear? But they usually have a overlapping period. And during that overlapping period, usually the pollen grains which are released from the anther, they will fall on the surface of the stigma and they will help in the process of fertilization process. Suppose it is a flower here, and the structure of pollen grain and the anther, okay, which is present in the anther and the stigma surface, which is present inside the flower, they are having a different time period. Okay, but in case of homogamy, what you have seen that the anther and stigma they will mature at the same time. Then there is possibility of self pollination. But here in case of this self adaptability, the anther and the stigma they have different maturation period, but they have some overlapping period. In that overlapping period, the pollen grains which are released from the stamen or the anther surface, they will fall on the stigma and they will help in the reproduction process. Okay, these are 4 types of adaptation that is shown by your self-pollinating flowers. Okay, note down these points, then we will know the different merit and demerit aspects of your self-pollination. Note down these points. Already we have discussed the self-pollination and what are the contrivances of your self-pollination. What are the different types already we have discussed. Then let us discuss about some merits and demerits of self-pollination. How it is important or how the different self-pollination processes they will help the plant or they will help the farmers. Okay. First, the merit. Let us know some of the merit of your self-pollination. First merit is that, as we know that self-pollination only a single plant is involved. So we can say that a single plant is sufficient for a single plant is required. Clear? Here no other plant is involved, only we can use a single plant and self-pollination process can occur. And basically here there is no requirement of agents of pollination. As we know that in the cross pollination process several agents are required. It may be water, it may be air, or it may be some insects. But as only a single plant is involved, here there is no requirement of any agents. Clear? And third merit of this self-pollination here, no waste of pollen grains. As the pollen grains, okay, they will transfer from a single plant. to the same stigma surface, then there will be no loss of any pollen grain. They can easily fall on the surface of stigma and they will initiate the process of double fertilization. Okay. Then next important merit is that fourth point. There is more possibility of pollination. Possibility of. Okay. Then how it is possible? Why more possibility of pollination is here? As we know, in the self pollination, a single plant is involved, and more pollen grains will come from the anther, and they will fall on the surface of the stigma. Okay, and that's why if all the pollen grains will fall on the surface, obviously the possibility of the pollination is maximum here. Okay, then another important character is that important character of the plant is preserved. Okay. Important character of plant is preserved. As a single plant is involved and the anther and the stigma is of the same plant, then there will be no hybrid. Okay, only here it is self pollination. That's why the previous plant which is having a specific character, that character will come in the next generation. Okay. Then this is called as an important character of the plant. It is preserved in that plant, in the new plant which is produced from the parent plant. Okay. The next important point is that it maintains purity of race. Maintains purity of race and superiority of variety. If we say a single organism, okay, here we are taking a single plant, then purity of that race. What is a race known as? Okay, so you know what is race? A biological race. Race, we can call it as your biological race. Here we can say when a specific plant is living in a specific area in a particular environment, then this is that race only. Okay. When we will take another plant from another environment, then the race of that plant it is from another environment. Okay. When we will combine that two plants, then it will be a cross pollination. But when we are taking a single plant from a single environment for a particular species, then that is known as your biological race, and it will maintain its purity because the new plant is produced from the previous plant. Both are same, clear, not different plants, same plants are involved. Okay, that's why it will maintain the purity of the race and it will the superiority of the variety. Okay, variety, those are present before, that will come again. Clear? These are some merits of your self pollination. Note down these points, then we will discuss some demerits of your self pollination. Okay. Okay, already we have discussed the merits of self pollination. Then let us discuss what are the demerits of your self pollination. Clear? Then some of the demerits of the self pollination is that first demerit, that is your seed production. Okay, the seed which is produced, it is very less viable. Okay, seed produced by self pollination are less viable. Here, these are less viable means when a seed is very much functional or it is having the capacity of germination, it is called as your viable seed. It will grow and it will give rise a new plant. And when it will be called as your less viable, when germination percentage will be low, okay, due to some physical reason or due to some the genetical difference, the seed will not germinate. Then that is called as your less viable seed. Clear? And germination percentage here it is low. Okay, then another important demerit is that the offsprings. Obviously, the offsprings that will be produced from the parent plant, clear? And usually they are weak and less resistant. Clear? They are very weak and they are less resistance. Suppose they are resistant to the some of the disease, they are resistant to some of the physical condition, they may be high temperature, they may be some of the sunlight or the other condition. Okay, they are resistant to most of the diseases. Okay, less resistance. Why? Because they are produced by self pollination process, not by cross pollination process. Okay, that is the main reason. That's why they are showing weak in nature and they are less resistant to some of the disease. Clear? Then next important point is that there is no improvement of race. No improvement of race and not production of new variety of species. Clear? The race or the biology race that will not improve. The same will be followed by your parent is similar to that of your offspring. Clear? And new variety will not be produced. Why it is not produced by hybrid? That's why new variety will not produce. Then there is another important demerit that is the loss of hybrid vigor. Hybrid vigor, or we call it as heterosis. Clear? The hybrid vigor will be lost. What is that hybrid vigor? Okay, suppose I will take an example, then you can understand what is that heterosis or hybrid vigor. Suppose I will take a plant A and I will cross pollinate with plant B. Clear? When it is crossed with a plant, then it is called as your self pollination. Clear? But when it will be crossed with your B plant, then it is called as your cross pollination. And here, when the cross pollination will be occurred, then there is production of hybrid. Clear? And basically, the production of hybrid, it will improve the characteristics of a plant, and that is called as your hybrid vigor. When we will cross two different plants, the offspring which is produced, that is more viable, more aggressive nature or more characteristics than that of your parental cell or parental plant. Okay, that is called as your hybrid vigor. But here you can see in the self pollination, a single plant is involved. Okay, the character which is present in the parent plant, that will come to the offspring, similar character, no new character will be appear. Okay, that's why we call it as there is loss of hybrid vigor or heterosis in case of self pollination. Clear? These are some merits and demerits we have discussed in this chapter. Clear? In this video lecture we have studied about the self pollination. What is self pollination? What is that? When a single plant is involved, the anther which is having the pollen grain that will fall on the surface of the stigma of the same plant. No other plant is involved. This is called as self pollination, and we have discussed about some contrivances, merits and demerits of self pollination. Okay. In the next class, we will discuss about the cross pollination and their contrivances. Okay. Thank you.